Hi guys, I'm Shelley, welcome back to my channel, and for me, day 40 of quarantine. Yay? At this point, I've no idea what the hell is going on, but it's starting to get a bit weird. I miss squishing my friends. But in the meantime, it turns out I'm doing a lot of reading. So I thought I would do a lockdown/summer TBR of what I am currently planning on reading. Shall we say that? I mean, who knows? I change my mind a lot when it comes to books. I'll get into a rhythm of something else. So this is my kind of plan. Don't hold me to it, please. So my current plan, as it stands, is to read King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Now, I have just, out of nowhere, read, what are the friggin' names of the other books? Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, which comes in the middle. Then I went back and read the trio of Shadow and Bone, something that I can't remember, and Ruin and Rising. Now I'm skipping back to the end and reading King of Scars, which is about my favourite character in the whole of this series, Prince/King Nikolai, because he's hilarious. And oh my god, Leigh Bardugo, you are sneaky, because you almost got me. I've just finished reading Ruin and Rising, and something happens to Nikolai that there was a moment. Leigh Bardugo is very, very sneaky, and I have fallen in love with her writing because, oh my god, she writes so much sass into her characters. Although she writes fantasy, and sometimes I get lost in fantasy and dystopian worlds because I'm just like, there's so much action and there's so much things happening that I'm just like, hang on, where am I? Where are the characters and what is going on? I get confused easily. But Leigh Bardugo has written her characters so that there's so much break between battles that you care so much about each character. Nobody is a side character because everybody has a personality and everybody has sass and everybody has arguments and there's so much flirting. Everybody is well-rounded. You can have a heart for every single character, even the bad guys you give a damn about. Am I rambling too much? I don't know. I have fallen in love with this series, can we tell? I've read 5 books in the past month. That doesn't usually happen. I mean, fair enough, they're audiobooks. I'm not physically reading them. I know my brain doesn't do that. I'm not that daft. But I've just fallen in love with it. So I've gone on to the now 6th book of King of Scars. So that is the first thing on my reading list to read. I know I've rambled a lot about them, but I have really fallen in love with this series. I kind of want the physical copies just so I can look at them. Moving on! Next up on my TBR, and I'm almost halfway through already, is Someday by David Levithan. I was reading this for the reading rush, which has just happened, but I'm continuing to read it because I didn't finish it. This is the third in a series of books. First one being Every Day, the second one being Another Day, and this being Someday. So the first book is about a character named A who changes body every single morning. At midnight, they come out of the body they were in, and they go into somebody else's, and they take over that body for 24 hours. And they try not to do damage to that other person's life, and they try to just live that day for the person whose body it is. They meet a character named Rhiannon, and they fall for them, and lots of things happen. Then Another Day, sorry, I'm bad at remembering the names of books. Another Day is the same story, but from Rhiannon's point of view. So she meets this person who keeps changing body, and it's very strange. And then Someday is what happens after that. So it's both Rhiannon and A together, along with a guy named Nathan, who is a character who has been taken over by A at some point, and A has then left them. But they are aware that something happened in those 24 hours, they weren't themselves. And then also another character who switches body every day as well, and is slightly, if not completely, psychopathically evil. And they're all trying to work out what to do next. I'm also led away into Lisa Williams' The Art of Being Normal. I've been told to read this by so many people for so long. I'm having difficulties at the moment, and I don't know if that's because my brain is just in so many different places. 2 outsiders, 2 secrets. David longs to be a girl, Leo wants to be invisible. When Leo stands up for David in a fight, an unlikely friendship forms. I've got the feeling it's going to be brilliant, but because I'm only a little way in, I'm not feeling it yet, and then I got completely distracted by the Grishaverse. So hopefully, once I finish the Grishaverse, I'll be able to get back into this. I don't just want to read it half-assed and not give it time and attention because I have a feeling it's brilliant. So I want to wait until my head is out of the Grishaverse before I dive back into this. Next up, I got Proud, Stories, Poetry and Art on the theme of Pride, compiled by Juno Dawson. This has been kind of on my periphery for a while, and then I'm blaming George Lester. I love you, George Lester. I will link him down below. He is the most wonderful human in the world. He has a book out soon, by the way, which I'm hoping to get my hands on soon. He did a review of a bunch of books, and this was one of them. And it is basically stories, short stories, poetry by a huge amount of authors. To be honest, a lot of people on here I don't recognise, and that's why I want to read it, because it's a good way of getting into new people that I've never heard of. Also, obviously, can't go to Pride this year because there isn't one because lockdown. I will aim to read this sometime in June, just so I can feel a little bit of pride while in lockdown. I might put rainbows up everywhere as well, just for the hell of it. So last but not least, I'm going to read Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. It says on the back, perfect for fans of Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, which is my religion, basically. The queer version of Greece. Hello! So, I cannot wait to read a gay version of Greece. I mean, who doesn't want that in their life? I have a few more books to come that I'm waiting on pre-order. I believe one of them is Camp by... what is the name of that author? Camp by Elsie Rossen, who did Jack of Hearts and Other Parts, and I love that book so much. And then I have another one on pre-order, The Falling in Love Montage by Sierra Smith, which I believe is going to be a lesbian love story, and there is not a lot of those in books, so I'm really looking forward to reading that too, but I don't think that comes out till like mid-summer. Then obviously I am waiting on the new Hank Green book, but that doesn't come out till like, I think, August, September, so I'll be waiting a while for that one. But this is my plan of reading during this lockdown slash summer slash, I don't know how long it's going to take me to read these books. It could be 10 minutes, it could be all year. But so far, this is my summer TBR, along with, is it King of Scars, if that's what it's called, by Leigh Bardugo. Can we tell that I don't have a brain so far? I would love to know if you are going to be reading some of these books, or what your TBR is for this summer slash quarantine section of life. Hit me up in the comments down below so I can steal all your ideas, because basically that's how this works. Anyway, I hope you guys are good and staying safe, and, you know, just being kind to yourself and to others, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. Why am I singing the Addams Family again? I'm having very strange brainwaves. Thank you, baked potato.